What did you do this morning? A simple question, but your mind suddenly goes blank. You know the answer. You had coffee, checked your messages, and rushed to work. But first, you build the sentence in your own language. Search for the English words, check the grammar, and by the time you're ready, the conversation has already moved on. If that feels familiar, you're in the right place. In this Talk Grow English practice, we're going to work through that frustrating gap between knowing English and using it quickly. You may understand videos, recognize useful vocabulary, and even know the grammar, but real conversation still feels too fast. Let me ask you honestly, when someone speaks to you in English, do you understand the question but need extra time to answer? Do familiar phrases disappear when you need them? Do you silently translate every idea before you say it? Many learners tell me, I know what I want to say, but I can't say it fast enough. That doesn't mean you're bad at English. It means your meaning and your English words are still taking a long route through translation. Today, we'll practice making that route shorter. Not by forcing yourself to think in English every second, and not by worrying about grammar rules while you speak. We'll connect meaning directly to simple English through real questions, visual imagination, quick responses, model answers, shadowing, and personal challenges. Our path is simple. First, you'll see or imagine something. Then you'll think about its meaning, answer quickly, hear a natural model, expand your answer, and respond again at a faster speed. You don't need a perfect sentence. You need a clear first response. So let's begin with something easy. Imagine you're looking at a small kitchen table. There's a blue mug, a set of keys, and a piece of toast on a plate. What do you see? Say it in simple English. I see a blue mug. I see some keys. I see a piece of toast. Don't translate a full paragraph. Just connect what you imagine directly to the words. Now, what do you need? Maybe you need coffee. Maybe you need your keys because you're leaving. Start with one sentence. I need my keys. Good. Keep the meaning moving. What happened? The toast fell on the floor. Your answer can be simple. The toast fell. If you want to add more, say, the toast fell. So I need to make another one. And what would you say? Imagine a friend asks, are you ready to go? You might say, almost. I just need my keys. Notice how quickly that can happen when you don't stop to create a perfect answer. Now it's your turn. Imagine the scene again, breathe naturally, and answer this question in English. What do you see? Use the first clear words that come to you, because we're about to turn that small success into a real conversation. Good. Whatever you saw, keep that simple picture in your mind. Maybe you said, I see a blue mug. Or maybe you noticed the keys first. There's no single correct answer. The important thing is that you connected the image to English before building a sentence in another language. Now let's stay with the same picture, but change the question. What do you need? Say the first useful sentence that comes to you. I need coffee. I need my keys. I need to clean the table. Don't search for an impressive answer. A clear answer is enough. Did you notice that the answer came from the situation? You didn't need to translate a complicated idea. You saw the table, understood what was missing, and used familiar English. That direct connection is what we're going to strengthen. Let's make it a little more real. Imagine you're already late for work. Your phone is ringing, your coffee is still hot, and you can't find your keys. What happened? Your answer could be, I can't find my keys. Or, I'm late, and I can't find my keys. Try saying it now. Keep the sentence moving. Don't stop after the first word because you're checking the grammar in your head. And what would you say if your friend called and asked, Are you coming? You might say, Yes, but I'm running late. That's a natural response because it matches the moment. You're not translating every word. You're reacting to a situation. Let's look at what usually happens when translation takes over. You hear, What did you do this morning? You know the answer. You had breakfast, checked your email, and took the bus. But inside your head, the process becomes much longer. You form the idea in your first language, look for the English words, question the word order, and suddenly the conversation has moved on. That can feel embarrassing, especially when you understand the other person perfectly. You may think, I know these words. Why can't I say them? The problem isn't that you have no English. The problem is that your English is waiting for permission, while your mind checks every detail. So today, we'll practice giving yourself less time to translate and more chances to connect. We'll follow a simple path: see or imagine, think. Answer quickly, hear a natural model, expand the idea, and then respond a little faster. We won't force you to think in English by repeating that phrase like a rule. Instead, we'll create small moments where English comes directly from meaning. First, you see a blue mug and say, I see a blue mug. Then you need your keys and say, I need my keys. The meaning comes first, and the English follows naturally. Let's try one more quick round. Imagine a window. Outside, it's raining, and you have an umbrella beside the door. What do you see? Your answer might be, I see rain, or I see an umbrella by the door. Now, what do you need? Maybe you need your coat. Say, I need my coat. What happened? The weather changed. You can say, it started raining. What would you say to a friend? Take your umbrella. Simple, useful, and immediate. Now we're ready to move from an imagined picture into a short everyday exchange where you'll answer before you have time to translate every sentence. Now, We're ready to move from an imagined picture into a short everyday exchange where you'll answer before you have time to translate every sentence. Imagine you're sitting in a small cafe. Look around. What do you see? You might say, I see a table, or I see a woman near the window. Don't search for the perfect sentence. Choose one clear detail and say it. Now add a little more meaning. I see a woman waiting for her friend. Repeat that aloud. I see a woman waiting for her friend. Good. The word woman is only a label, but a woman waiting for her friend gives us a small picture. You're not just remembering vocabulary. You're connecting words to a situation. Let's keep going. There's a phone on the table. Complete the sentence, I can see. I can see a phone on the table. That's one natural answer. You could also say, there's a phone beside the cup. Both answers work because both describe the meaning you can see. Now, what might the person need? Maybe she needs her phone. Say it directly. She needs her phone. Or, if you're talking about yourself, I need my phone. Notice how quickly the meaning changes the sentence. The object stays the same, but your attention changes. First, you see it. Then, you think about who needs it. Let's try another scene. Imagine a bedroom. There's an empty chair, a jacket on the bed, and someone looking for their keys. What do you see? Your answer could be, I see an empty chair. Repeat it once. I see an empty chair. Now complete this sentence. It looks like someone is getting ready to leave. Maybe you thought of another answer, such as, it looks like the room is messy. That's fine. You're making a connection, not taking a test. What happened? The person can't find something. Say, they lost their keys. Or say, they're looking for their keys. Which one feels more accurate? If you only know the second sentence, use it. They're looking for their keys communicates the situation clearly, even if you don't know whether the keys are truly lost. Now answer quickly. I'll give you the beginning, and you finish it with the first natural idea that comes to you. I can see. Maybe, I can see a jacket on the bed. Next, there might be. There might be keys under the chair. And one more, the person is probably in a hurry. That sentence adds a guess. You're moving from what is visible to what the scene suggests. Let's make it more personal. Imagine you're in that bedroom. What do you need? Say, I need my keys. What would you say to a friend who is waiting outside? You might say, I'll be there in a minute. Or, can you wait a moment? These are useful chunks, not isolated words, and they come from the situation. Now say the whole idea. I can't find my keys, so I'll be there in a minute. It's longer, but the meaning guides you from one part to the next. You don't need to build the sentence from your first language. See the room, feel the small problem, and let the English follow. I can't find my keys, so I'll be there in a minute. Emma. Notice what just happened. You saw the room, noticed the problem, and connected it to an action. You didn't need a perfect sentence before you started speaking. Let's keep that connection moving. Picture the bedroom again. The window is open, rain is coming in, and a book is lying on the floor. What can you see? Say it quickly. I can see an open window. You could also say, there's a book on the floor. Both answers work because both describe the scene clearly. Now listen and repeat. The rain is coming in through the window. Don't separate every word. Hear it as one complete idea, then say it smoothly. Good. Now begin with, it looks like, maybe. It looks like someone left the window open. You can't prove it, but it's a natural guess based on what you see. Here's another useful beginning. There might be, complete it. There might be water on the floor. Excellent. You're using the picture to find the words instead of searching for a translation first. Now let's change the scene. Imagine a small cafe. There's a crowded table near the door, an empty chair by the window, and a man looking at his phone. What can you see? Start with the easiest phrase. There is. Good. There is an empty chair by the window. Now add another detail. A man is looking at his phone. Very natural. You don't need to say, a man is using a small electronic device. Simple English is often the clearest English. But what might be happening? He might be waiting for someone. He's probably checking the time. Maybe he's reading a message. More than one answer can be right. That's important, because real conversations don't always give you every detail. You respond with what you notice and what you think. Now let's make this more realistic. The cafe door opens, cold air comes in, and everyone turns around. Give me one quick reaction. You might say, someone just came in, or it suddenly got cold. Don't wait for a complicated idea. Choose the first useful sentence and say it clearly. That quick choice is part of natural speaking. Now imagine you're sitting there. The cafe is noisy. Your phone is almost out of battery, and you need to make an important call. What do you need? Say, I need a quiet place. You could also say, I need to charge my phone. Notice how the situation gives you the language. What would you say to the person at the next table? Try, excuse me, is this seat free? Or, do you mind if I sit here? Now connect the ideas. I need a quiet place, so I'm going to sit by the window. Let the meaning lead you through the sentence. Before you translate anything, look at the cafe in your mind and answer this. What would you do next? You might say, I'd move to the empty table, or I'd ask if I could charge my phone. You're no longer only naming objects. You're noticing, guessing, needing, and choosing. That's the first real step toward thinking in English. The scene begins to create thoughts directly, and your words follow. Now let's make this easier. When a thought appears, You don't need a complete sentence right away. One small English chunk can keep your mind moving. Imagine you're leaving a cafe. You're hungry and tired. What comes first? Maybe, I need food. That's enough. You don't have to translate a long idea like, I haven't eaten for several hours, so I should find something to eat. Say the short thought first, I need food. Then connect it naturally. I need food, so I'll grab something on the way home. Short first, longer second. Can you feel how much lighter that is? Now you look at the time and realize you're late for work. Don't search for a perfect sentence. Just say, I'm running late. Then add information if you need it. I'm running late, so I'll take a taxi. The first chunk gives you a starting point. It lowers the pressure, and the rest can come afterward. Think about transport. Your bus hasn't arrived, and you keep checking the road. What might you say? Where's the bus? Or, it's taking forever. Those are real thoughts, not textbook sentences. You might add, I should check the schedule, or maybe I'll order a ride. Notice what's happening. Amma? The situation gives you the language before grammar has time to slow you down. Let's try a common conversation. Someone asks, do you want some coffee? Your first answer can be simple. Yes, please. If you don't want any, say, not right now. If you haven't decided, say, maybe later. You're not taking an exam. You're responding to a person. Do you want some coffee? Not right now. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm okay. See how quickly the answer grows when you begin with a small chunk. If you need time, say, let me think. That phrase gives you a moment without forcing you into silence. You can also organize your answer with, the main thing is. For example, the main thing is, I need to finish this work first. These phrases are stepping stones. They help you stay inside English while you decide what comes next. You don't have to know the whole sentence at the beginning. Imagine a friend asks, are you coming with us tonight? Start with, I'm trying to decide. Then continue, I'm pretty tired, but I'd like to see everyone. That sounds more natural than translating every idea separately. Instead of, I am very tired, therefore I may return to my home early. Say, I'm tired, so I might go home early. The meaning stays the same, but the English becomes conversational. Now let's add a little time pressure. See the situation, feel the need, and let the first clear English phrase come out. You're hungry, but you have 10 minutes before a meeting. Start with, I need something quick. Then add, I'll eat after the meeting if I have to. You're exhausted, and a friend invites you out. Say, I'm not sure yet. Then expand, let me see how I feel after work. Your coworker asks whether you checked the email. Say, I forgot to check. Add, I'll look at it now. That's direct. useful English, and it keeps the conversation moving. So don't wait for a perfect sentence. Trust the first simple chunk that comes to mind and let your answer grow from there. Next, we'll try these situations faster, with less help, until the English starts to feel like your own. Let's make it quicker now. I'll give you a situation, and you answer with one small English chunk before you try to make a full sentence. You look at the clock. You're running late, and your bus leaves in 5 minutes. What comes to mind? Say, I need to hurry. Good. Don't translate a long sentence like, I have to move quickly because I may miss my transportation. Just say, I need to hurry. That short phrase already carries the main message. Now imagine your friend asks, are you ready to order? You're still looking at the menu. Say, I need a minute. Maybe your first thought is, I have not decided what I would like to eat yet. That's understandable, but it takes too much effort. I need a minute gives you time and sounds completely natural. Here's another one. Someone asks, do you want coffee? Your answer doesn't need an explanation. Say, yes, please. Or if you're not in the mood, say, not right now. If you might want it later, say, maybe later. Notice how quickly those answers appear when you stop building a perfect sentence. Now let's expand them gently. Maybe later can become, maybe later. I'm still tired. Or, maybe later. I've already had 2 cups. The short chunk comes first. The extra information comes second. That order protects your fluency because you're not trying to create everything at once. Let's try a work situation. Your manager asks, can you finish this today? You're not completely sure. Start with, I'm not sure yet. Then add, let me check my schedule. You don't need to promise too much, and you don't need to explain every detail immediately. Now you're choosing between 2 plans for the evening. Say, I'm trying to decide. Add one clear idea. I'm trying to decide whether to stay home or go out. That sounds natural because the phrase gives your mind a place to begin. And if you lose your direction while speaking, use the main thing is. For example, the main thing is, I need some rest. You can also say, what I want to say is. When your thoughts feel crowded, what I want to say is, I appreciate your help, but I need more time. Those phrases aren't signs that your English is weak. They're tools that help you organize your thoughts while the conversation continues. Let's move a little faster. You're tired. Your phone is almost dead, and a friend asks what's wrong. Start with, I'm exhausted. Now expand, I'm exhausted, and my phone is about to die. Keep the first chunk simple, then attach one idea. You forgot to check an important message. Say, I forgot to check. Make it more useful. I forgot to check, but I'll look at it now. That small word, but, helps you move from the problem to the next action. You don't have to sound impressive. You have to stay present. In real conversations, people often speak in small pieces, correct themselves, and add details as they go. So, when the next question comes, don't search for a perfect translated sentence. Give me the first useful English chunk, and we'll put the rest together under a little more pressure. Good. Let's see how quickly you can stay with the meaning. What did you have for breakfast? Answer in one sentence. Use the first natural idea. Maybe you said, I ate bread and coffee. That's understandable. But in natural English, you'd usually say, I had toast and coffee. Try it again. I had toast and coffee. Now add one small detail. Why did you choose it? I had toast and coffee because I was in a hurry. Notice how simple that is. You don't need to build a long sentence before you speak. Next question. What do you usually do after work? Don't translate every word. Just tell me the meaning. I go home and take a rest is clear. But I go home and rest for a while sounds more natural. Say that once. Now I'll ask, why? Answer quickly. Because I'm tired. That's enough. If you want to expand, say, because I'm tired after sitting at my desk all day. First, give the short answer. Then add the detail. Let's keep moving. What are you carrying right now? You might say, I'm carrying my phone, my keys, and a bottle of water. Good. If you said, I have with me my phone and my keys, I understand you. But the natural sentence is, I have my phone and keys with me. Now answer again, but this time include where they are. I have my phone and keys with me in my bag. That works. Although my phone and keys are in my bag is even cleaner. See what happened? You didn't stop to rebuild the whole sentence. You gave me the main idea, and then we adjusted it. What do you need today? One sentence. Start now. I need to finish my work and buy some groceries. Excellent. Maybe you were tempted to say, I have need to finish my work. That direct translation makes sense, but English uses, I need to finish my work. Let's make it more personal. When do you need to do it? I need to finish my work before 6, and I'll buy groceries on my way home. That's a longer answer, but it grew naturally from a short one. One more. What happened this morning? Don't search for the perfect story. Give me the first useful sentence. I missed the bus. Good. What happened next? I called a taxi, but it was stuck in traffic. That answer is clear and conversational. You didn't need to explain every detail before opening your mouth. Now tell me how you felt. I was frustrated because I was already late. Simple, honest, and natural. Did you notice that? The answer arrived faster when you focused on the event, not on translating a perfect sentence in your head. Keep that feeling, because now I'm going to give you less time and slightly more unexpected questions. Good. This time, don't prepare. Just respond to the meaning you hear. What did you have for breakfast? One sentence. Use the first natural idea. I had toast and coffee. Perfect. Not. For breakfast, I consumed bread and drank coffee. That sentence is understandable, but it sounds like a report. In conversation, we usually keep it simple. Try this one. What do you usually do after work? I go home and make dinner. Nice. If you want to add a reason, say, I'm usually tired, so I keep dinner simple. You don't need to build the whole answer before you start speaking. Now, what are you carrying? I'm carrying my phone, my keys, and a small bag. Good. Notice the word order. I'm carrying, not I carrying. Small correction, but don't stop your whole sentence because of it. Let's make it quicker. What do you need today? I need more time. That's honest, and it's enough. You could say, I need more time to finish everything, but the short answer is already complete. Why do you need more time? Because I have too much work. Very clear. A more natural version would be, because I have a lot of work, or because I've got a lot to do. Your meaning came first, and now we're simply making the English smoother. What happened this morning? I woke up late. Good. What happened next? I quickly got dressed and left the house. Almost there. Say, I got dressed quickly and left the house. Both are understandable. But this word order sounds more natural. How did you feel? I felt nervous because I didn't want to be late. Excellent. You didn't translate every word. You gave me the situation, the reason, and the feeling. Here's another one. What would you say if a friend asked, Are you free tonight? I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know later. That's a very useful answer. It sounds natural because it doesn't try to explain too much. What if you need to refuse politely? I'm sorry. I can't tonight. I've already made plans. Good. You might be tempted to say, I have plans already, which is understandable. I've already made plans sounds a little more conversational here. Now answer this quickly. What's something you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the weekend. Great. Remember, we say, looking forward to the weekend, not looking forward for the weekend. And why are you looking forward to it? Because I want to rest and spend time with my family. That arrived smoothly. You didn't need a complicated sentence. You connected one simple idea to another. Let's pause the rapid questions for a moment and listen to two ways of answering. Imagine someone asks, What did you do after work? A translated answer might sound like, After finishing my work, I returned to my home and prepared a meal because I was very hungry. A direct, conversational answer is, I went home, made dinner, and ate right away. Same meaning, less effort, and much easier to say quickly. Now you try the shorter style. What did you do after work? I went home, made dinner, and ate right away. Yes, that's the kind of English we want. Clear, natural, and ready to use. Next, I'll slow things down briefly so you can hear how these simple answers grow into real conversation. That's the English we want. Clear, natural, and ready to use. Now let's slow down just enough to notice why it feels easy to say. Listen first. Don't repeat yet. I've been feeling a little tired lately, so I've been going to bed earlier. What did you understand? The idea is simple. I've felt tired recently, so I changed my bedtime. Catch the meaning first. Once you know the message, the sounds are easier to follow. Now repeat the complete thought. I've been feeling a little tired lately, so I've been going to bed earlier. This time, hear the rhythm. I've been feeling a little tired lately, so I've been going to bed earlier. The important words carry the energy, while the smaller words connect them. Try it again without building it word by word. Let the sentence move as one thought. I've been feeling a little tired lately, so I've been going to bed earlier. Now make it yours. Complete this. I've been feeling a little tired lately, so you could say, I've been taking more breaks. There's no perfect answer. Just speak in one complete unit. Let's make this more realistic. Imagine it's evening and someone suggests cooking. You answer, I don't really feel like cooking tonight. That means you're not in the mood to cook. Repeat, I don't really feel like cooking tonight. Did you hear how don't really and feel like flow together? Shadow me and keep the stress on the key words. I don't really feel like cooking tonight. Your pronunciation doesn't need to be perfect yet. Stay with the movement. Confidence grows when your mouth travels through the phrase without stopping to translate. But here's where it gets interesting. In a textbook, you may see, what are you going to do? In relaxed conversation, you'll often hear, what are you gonna do? You don't need to use gonna all the time, but you do need to recognize it. So answer quickly, what are you gonna do after this? Maybe your answer is, I'm gonna get some food, or I'm gonna call my sister. Keep it short and respond before you overthink. The same thing happens with, I want to get some food. In casual speech, it often becomes, I want to get some food. Repeat it. Then change the ending. I want to get some water. I want to go home. Now imagine someone asks you a question while you're finishing a message. You need time, so what can you say? Could you give me a minute? Repeat and shadow it. Could you give me a minute? In fast speech, could you may sound like could ya. You're training your ear to recognize the phrase, not search for every separate word. Make it personal. Could you give me a minute? I'm trying to finish this message. Or, could you give me a minute? I need to think. One last phrase. I should have called earlier. Can you hear the regret? Stress should and called. And let the rest connect naturally. So you're not collecting isolated sounds. You're hearing the meaning, copying the rhythm, and turning each phrase into something you can use. Now, let's bring that skill into a moment when someone speaks to you unexpectedly. Imagine you're at a cafe. The person behind the counter asks, "What would you like?" You understand the question, but your answer gets stuck because you're translating. Don't translate word by word. Listen to the meaning first. "I'd like a chicken sandwich and a coffee, please." Hear the whole phrase as one piece. "I'd like a chicken sandwich and a coffee, please." Now repeat it naturally. Don't give every word the same strength. Stress chicken sandwich and coffee, while "I'd like a" moves lightly and smoothly. Shadow me. "I'd like a chicken sandwich and a coffee, please." Again, a little faster. The goal isn't to rush. It's to connect the words instead of carefully separating each one. The cashier asks, "Would you like anything else?" Your quick answer is, "No, that's all. Thanks." Listen for the meaning. Then copy the rhythm. Give more energy to "all" and "thanks." Now let's make it more personal. A friend asks, "Are you coming with us tonight?" You're not sure, so you say, "I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know." Don't build it word by word. Here are two useful blocks. "I'm not sure yet," and "I'll let you know." In natural speech, "I'll" is usually short and light. Repeat it. "I'll let you know." Now shadow the complete answer. "I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know." That sounds much more natural than stressing every word equally. Here's a common listening problem. Someone says, "The meeting starts at 7, but you're not completely sure you heard correctly." Ask, "Sorry, did you say 7? Notice that "did you" may sound like "didja." Sorry, didja say 7? You don't have to pronounce it that way every time, but you should recognize it when someone else does. Repeat both. "Did you say 7? Didja say 7? Now imagine you're on a phone call and the connection is bad. Say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Keep the phrase together. It means you didn't hear or understand what the person said. Shadow this longer response. "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" First, listen for the main idea. Next, notice the connected sounds. Then say it with confidence, even if your pronunciation isn't perfect. Compare these two versions. "Could you repeat that, please?" And "Could you repeat that, please?" The second one may sound surprisingly fast at first, but once you know the phrase, your brain starts recognizing it as one familiar unit. Now respond quickly. Your friend asks you to choose where to eat, but you need a moment. Say, "Let me think about it." In relaxed conversation, "let me" can sound like lem, think about it. Don't exaggerate the sound. Just let the words connect naturally. Notice how the rhythm carries the meaning even when some sounds become softer. One more situation. You promised to send an email, but you forgot. Say, I'm sorry. I should have sent it earlier. There's regret in the sentence, so stress should and sent. Now personalize it. What should you have done earlier today? You might say, I should have called my friend earlier, or I should have checked the time earlier. Create your own sentence aloud, moving smoothly from one meaningful phrase to the next. That's the shift we're practicing. Not perfect words in isolation, but complete thoughts you can hear, repeat, and use. You've worked with ordering, making plans, checking information, asking for clarification, and expressing regret. Now you're ready for a real-life exchange where the other person won't slow down for you. Listen to the meaning first, then let the rhythm guide your response. Let's put these phrases into a real cafe. You walk in a little tired, and the person at the counter asks, Hi there. What can I get for you? Don't translate. Picture your drink and answer naturally. I'll have a small latte, please? Or could I get an iced coffee? Good. Now the next question is, would you like anything else? Say, yes, I'll add a blueberry muffin, or no, that's everything. Thanks. Keep your answer quick and clear, just as you would in real life. Here's my model. I'll have a medium cappuccino and a cheese sandwich, please. Notice how I'll have moves together. Now repeat the whole sentence aloud. But suddenly, you notice the sandwich contains something you don't eat. Don't panic. Say, actually, can I change that? I'll have the vegetable soup instead. Exactly. Actually gives you a moment to think, and the correction still sounds friendly. Now listen a little faster. Would you like that for here or to go? And do you want regular milk or oat milk? You don't need to catch every word. Listen for the choices and answer. For here, please, and oat milk. If you need more time, say, give me a second. I'll go with oat milk. Let's make it harder. I ask, would you like the soup with a side salad? Or would you prefer the roasted potatoes? Maybe you missed the last choice. Keep the conversation moving. Could you say that again? Or check the meaning. Do you mean the soup comes with a salad? That's an important listening skill. You're not translating every sound. You're using the words you caught to rebuild the meaning. Now imagine a small misunderstanding. You say, I'd like the chicken wrap, please? But I reply, sure, one tuna wrap. What would you do? Don't abandon the conversation. Correct me politely. Sorry, I said chicken, not tuna. Or, actually, I meant the chicken wrap. My model is, sorry, I meant the chicken wrap. Could you change that, please? Repeat it, stressing meant and chicken. Now create your own correction. Maybe you wanted soup, not salad. Say, actually, I meant the soup, not the salad. Short, clear, and natural. Your order is ready, but you can't find a seat. Ask, Is anyone sitting here? If the table is free, someone might say, no, go ahead. Imagine they answer quickly. It's taken. But there's a free table near the window. You only catch free table and window. Respond. Sorry, do you mean the table near the window? Nice recovery. In a busy cafe, people often miss a word or two. You don't need perfect listening. You need a way to keep going. You sit down, take one sip, and realize the coffee is too hot. Ask, could I get some cold water, please? Then answer, what did you order? Say the whole thought in English. I ordered an iced coffee and a blueberry muffin. But there's one more change. The cafe has run out of muffins, and the staff member says, I'm sorry, we've just sold the last one. Respond, that's okay. I'll go with the banana bread instead. Notice how quickly the decision comes when you focus on the situation, not on perfect grammar. In the next step, I'll remove some of the context. You'll hear short cafe events and react using only the meaning you catch. That will show whether your English response is becoming more direct and immediate. Good. This time, don't picture the whole cafe. Just listen for the meaning and respond quickly. The staff member asks, what would you like? Answer now. You could say, I'd like a small latte, please, or choose your own drink. Try not to translate every word first. A natural answer is, I'll have an iced Americano, please. Repeat it once. Make the key words clear, but don't stress every word. Next question. Would you like anything else? Respond quickly. You might say, yes, I'll take a chocolate cookie, or no, that's all for me. My answer is, actually, I'll take a bottle of water as well. Notice how actually helps you add a new thought naturally. Now it gets less predictable. The staff member asks quickly, would you like oat milk with that? Or are you okay with regular milk? Maybe you don't catch every word, but you hear oat milk and regular milk. Keep the conversation moving. Sorry, do you mean oat milk or regular milk? Exactly. You're not only saying, I don't understand. You're asking for the specific information you need. Now choose, I'll go with oat milk, or regular milk is fine. My answer is, I'll go with oat milk. Please. Keep the rhythm relaxed and let your voice fall gently at the end. Here's a change of plan. We can make that hot, but we're out of ice for iced drinks. Respond naturally. You could say, that's okay. I'll have it hot. Or change your order. Actually, can I change that? I'll have a hot tea instead. Your first choice is allowed to change. That's what thinking in English really means. You don't need every sentence ready in advance. You notice what happened and make the next decision directly. Now imagine a misunderstanding. You say, I'll have a hot tea, but the staff member replies, sure, one iced tea. Don't panic. Say, sorry, I meant a hot tea, not an iced tea. Meant lets you correct the message calmly. You could also say, sorry, I meant a hot coffee, not a tea. A small mistake doesn't end communication. You adjust and continue. The staff member asks, would you like room for milk? You're not sure what that means. Buy yourself a second. Give me a second. Do you mean, would I like some space in the cup? That's a longer answer, but it's completely natural. You're using the words you know to check the meaning instead of translating the whole question. Now answer, yes. Please leave a little room. Or, no, that's fine as it is. My answer is, yes. Please leave a little room. Say it with an easy rhythm. One final change. Your drink will be ready at the counter, and the banana bread will come to your table. If you only catch counter and table, listen for the action. Ask, sorry, do you mean I should wait at the counter for the drink? If the staff member says yes, reply, got it. I'll wait at the counter. Say it once more, a little faster, got it. I'll wait at the counter. You've handled an order, an extra question, a changed plan, a misunderstanding, and a fast explanation. Next, we'll remove even more context and see how quickly you can react to short cafe situations using only the meaning you hear. This time, you won't hear the whole story first. You'll hear a short situation, catch the key meaning, and decide what happened. Ready? I called Maya twice, but she didn't answer. Then she texted me and said her phone had been in her bag the whole time. What happened? A. Maya lost her phone. B. Maya didn't hear the calls. C. Maya was talking to someone else. Choose quickly. The best answer is B. Maya didn't hear the calls because her phone was in her bag. That's the key connection. The phone was there, so she missed the calls. How did she probably feel when she saw them? Maybe surprised, worried, or a little apologetic. You could say, she probably felt bad because she didn't answer. And what would you say to her? Try this, that's okay. I just wanted to check if you were available. Notice the order. First understand the event, then connect it to a feeling, and finally respond. You don't need a complicated explanation. Let's try another one. I left home early, but the bus never came. After 20 minutes, I checked the app and saw that the route had changed. What happened? A. The bus arrived early. B. The bus route changed. C. The speaker took the wrong bus. The answer is B. The route had changed, and the person didn't know about it. How might they feel? You could say, that must have been frustrating. We use that response when someone makes an effort, but something outside their control goes wrong. Now add your opinion. I think the best option is to check the app before leaving, or I would have called a taxi if I were in a hurry. Both answers work. One gives practical advice, and the other explains your personal decision. You're not translating a perfect sentence. You're reacting to the situation. Here's one more. I was sure I had my keys, but when I got to the door, they weren't in my pocket. I had to walk all the way back to the cafe. What happened? The person left the keys at the cafe. They probably felt annoyed, tired, or embarrassed. A natural response would be, "Oh no, that sounds frustrating. I hope you found them." Notice how much meaning comes from a few simple details. Now I'll remove the choices. The meeting was supposed to start at 9, but the manager sent a message saying it would begin at 10 instead. Answer in your own words. The meeting was delayed by an hour. Why did it happen? We don't know the exact reason, so don't invent one. Say, the manager changed the time, but the reason isn't clear. That sentence separates what you know from what you're guessing. What would you say to a coworker? "Thanks for letting me know. I'll be ready at 10. And how would you feel? Relieved because you had more time, or annoyed because your plans changed? You could say, "I'd feel relieved because I could finish my coffee," or "I'd be annoyed because I had planned something else." Keep it simple. In real conversations, people usually need a clear reaction, not a long answer. Remember these useful responses. That must have been frustrating. Maybe we misunderstood each other. I would have done the same thing. I think the best option is, if a friend says, "I waited outside, but you sent the message to my old number," you might reply, "Maybe we misunderstood each other," or "I'm sorry, I should've checked the number." If someone brought the wrong document to an appointment, you could say, "That's stressful. Maybe you can email the correct one later." You're moving from facts to feelings, from feelings to reactions, and from reactions to decisions. Next, you'll explain what you would do when there isn't one obvious answer. That's where thinking in English becomes even more useful. Now let's make the situation less obvious. Sometimes there isn't one perfect answer, so you have to decide what to do. Imagine you're meeting a friend at a cafe, but they haven't arrived. You check your phone, and there's no message. What happened? Maybe your friend is late, went to the wrong cafe, or had an unexpected problem. Don't translate every possibility. Choose one clear thought. My friend is late, and I'm not sure why. Now ask yourself, what would I do? Would you wait, call, or leave? Try to answer quickly. I'd call my friend first. Good. Now add a reason. I'd call my friend first because I want to know if everything is okay. That's a complete, natural response. You stated the fact, made a decision, and explained it. But maybe you'd choose differently. You could say, "I'd wait for 10 minutes because my friend might be having trouble with the bus." That answer is just as natural. The goal isn't to find one perfect sentence. It's to express your own decision clearly. Let's try another situation. You plan to cook dinner, but when you open the refrigerator, You realize you forgot to buy the main ingredient. What happened, and how do you feel? You might say, I planned a meal, but I can't make it as planned. I feel a little frustrated, but I'll look for another option. Then speak naturally to yourself. It's okay. I can make something simple instead. Notice how simple English can still express real thinking. You don't need advanced vocabulary. Just ask, this didn't work. What can I do now? That small question helps you move forward instead of getting stuck translating a long sentence. Here's a workplace example. Your manager asks you to finish an extra task today, but you already have a lot of work. What would you say? I can do it, but I may need more time. Or, I'm happy to help, but which task should I finish first? Which one would you use? Either one works. The key is to begin with your purpose. Agree, ask for time, explain a problem, or suggest another option. If you need more time, start with the simple thought, I need more time. Then connect it naturally. Could I finish it tomorrow morning? Now answer without choices. Your friend cancels dinner at the last minute because they feel sick. What happened? How might they feel? And what would you say? You might say, my friend canceled because they're sick. They probably feel bad about changing the plan. I'd say, don't worry. Get some rest, and we can meet another day. See the flow, facts, feelings, and then a response. Now make it personal. Think of a time when your plans suddenly changed. Maybe a meeting was canceled, a delivery arrived late, or someone gave you unexpected news. Use this frame. At first, I felt, then I decided to, because, for example, at first, I felt disappointed. Then I decided to use the extra time to finish some work because I didn't want the evening to be wasted. Say it again in smaller groups. At first, I felt disappointed. Then I decided to use the extra time to finish some work. That's the shift we're practicing. You're not only describing what happened, you're choosing, explaining, and responding from your own experience. In the next step, we'll make those choices even more personal by focusing on opinions and decisions, where your first clear English sentences can make all the difference. That first clear sentence can make all the difference when you're explaining an opinion. So let's begin with an easy question. Are mornings or evenings better for you? Don't search for the perfect answer. Just choose one and start with, I tend to think evenings are better because. Now finish the sentence in your own words. Maybe you feel more relaxed, or maybe you have more time for yourself. Here's my example. I tend to think evenings are better because I can slow down and focus on what I enjoy. Notice the simple order. Opinion first, reason second. Now add one small example. For example, I can read, cook, or call a friend without rushing. Your turn, give your opinion, your reason. And one example. Keep it conversational. You don't need to sound like you're writing an essay. And remember, your answer can change. If you have to start work very early, you might say, in that case, I'd rather have a quiet morning because I might be too tired at night. The phrase, I'd rather, helps you make a quick decision without translating every sentence. Let's try another one. Would you rather work from home or work in an office? Begin with, I'd rather work from home because maybe you value flexibility, fewer distractions, or a shorter commute. A natural answer could be, I'd rather work from home because I can organize my day more easily. For example, I don't lose time traveling, although I sometimes miss talking to my colleagues. Did you hear that small qualification? Although I sometimes miss talking to my colleagues. It makes the answer sound thoughtful without making it complicated. You can agree with your main idea and still mention one different feeling. Now use this frame. For me, the main reason is, what makes someone a good friend? You might say, for me, the main reason is trust. A good friend listens without judging, and I feel comfortable being honest with that person. If you're not completely sure, say exactly that. I'm not completely sure, but I think a good friend is someone who makes you feel safe and understood. That phrase gives you time to think. It doesn't mean your English is weak. It means you're organizing your idea naturally instead of translating every word. Let's make it more spontaneous. Imagine you have a free afternoon tomorrow. How would you spend it? Answer quickly with, I'd probably. Don't translate the whole plan. Just say the first clear idea. For example, I'd probably go for a long walk and stop at a small cafe. I haven't had much time to relax lately, so I'd like to do something simple. Now change the situation. What if it started raining heavily? Would you still choose that plan? You could respond, then I'd probably stay home and watch a movie. It depends on how tired I am, but I wouldn't want to spend the afternoon outside in bad weather. Notice how the answer adjusts. You start with a clear idea, then respond to new information. That's real conversation. And familiar frames make it easier. So far, you've practiced opinions, reasons, examples, qualifications, and quick changes. Now let's move from decisions to emotions, because what we think often changes with how we feel inside. Exactly. Opinions can change when your feelings change, and that's where English becomes more personal. Imagine a friend cancels your plans at the last minute. Are you disappointed, annoyed, or maybe relieved because you're exhausted? Choose one feeling and complete this sentence quickly. I feel because. You might say, I feel disappointed because I was really looking forward to seeing her, or I feel a little relieved because I've had a long day. Notice that I am disappointed and I feel disappointed are both correct. But I feel connects your emotion more directly to what happened. Now make it conversational. Your friend says, "I'm sorry I canceled. I just couldn't manage everything today." How would you respond? Try this. "I understand. I was a little disappointed, but I hope you're okay." It's honest, but it also shows empathy. In real life, simple words often carry the most meaning. "That was frustrating. I'm excited about it. I didn't expect to feel this way." Let's try a quick reaction. Imagine you receive unexpected good news. Begin with, "I can't believe." Maybe, "I can't believe I got the job." Or, "I can't believe they remembered my birthday." Now make one sentence that feels true for you. Good. Now change the emotion. Imagine the news is confusing rather than exciting. Use, "I'm not sure how I feel about." For example, "I'm not sure how I feel about moving to another city. Part of me is excited, but another part is nervous." That phrase gives you room. You don't have to choose one clear emotion immediately. You can be proud and worried, grateful and exhausted, or ready for a change while still missing the way things were. Use this structure. "I feel, but at the same time, I feel." Don't translate a perfect sentence. Just connect two honest ideas. "I feel excited, but at the same time, I feel a little scared." Now add a reason. "I feel excited because this is a new opportunity, but I'm nervous because I don't know what to expect." That sounds like speaking, not an essay. You gave the feeling, the reason, and a small contrast. Here's a gentle challenge. Someone asks, "Why are you so quiet today?" Answer naturally with, "I guess I'm just." You could say, "I guess I'm just tired." Or, "I guess I'm just thinking about something." These phrases help when you haven't prepared an answer. You begin with a familiar structure, and your real idea can follow. Now imagine the person asks, "Did I do something wrong?" What would you say if they didn't? You might say, "No, not at all. I'm just tired today." Or, "It isn't about you. I have a lot on my mind." That reassures the other person while still expressing how you feel. This is flexible thinking in English. You noticed your emotion, connected it to the situation, and adjusted your answer to another person's concern. You weren't searching for a translated sentence. You were responding to the moment. Before we move on, combine the ideas one more time: feeling, reason, and contrast. For example, "I'm happy about the opportunity because it's a big step for me. But I'm also nervous because everything feels new." Keep your version simple and honest. Natural English doesn't require a long explanation. It needs a clear feeling and a real connection to what's happening. Next, we'll make these reactions faster and more natural with short everyday moments so you can respond before you have time to translate. Let's make your reactions quicker now. I'll give you a short situation, and you'll answer with the first honest feeling that comes to mind. You check your phone and see an unexpected message from a company you really wanted to hear from. What do you feel? You might say, I'm excited, I'm surprised, or I can't believe it. To make the emotion clearer, add one simple reason. I'm excited because I thought they'd already chosen someone else. Hear how quickly that gives your feeling a shape. You're not only naming the emotion, you're showing what caused it. Now your friend says, I got the job. What would you say? Try, that's amazing. I'm really happy for you. Or, wow, congratulations. You must be so relieved. That phrase shows empathy because you're imagining how your friend feels. Let's make it more personal. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. I know how hard you worked for it. Now shadow me. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. I know how hard you worked for it. Good. Now imagine you've been waiting all day for someone to reply, and they finally send a short message. Sorry, I've been busy. What's your reaction? Maybe you feel disappointed, but not deeply hurt. You can say, I was a little disappointed, to be honest, but I understand. The words a little soften the emotion and make your answer sound balanced. If the message feels unexpectedly cold, say, that caught me off guard because we were having such a good conversation yesterday. Can you hear the difference between I'm upset and I'm upset because I thought everything was fine? The second sentence gives the listener something they can understand. Let's try a harder moment. You make a mistake at work, and your manager points it out in front of the team. How do you feel? You could say, I felt embarrassed, or I was nervous and didn't know how to react. For a more thoughtful answer, add, I knew the mistake was mine, but I wished we could discuss it privately. That answer is honest without becoming aggressive. It explains your feeling, the reason, and what you would have preferred. Now your friend cancels your plans at the last minute, even though you've been looking forward to seeing them. What do you say? I was a little disappointed, but I hope everything's okay. That sounds natural because it expresses your feeling while showing concern. Amma, notice that the speaker is being honest without blaming the friend. Exactly. Now one more. You meet an old friend after several years apart. Try a warm response. It was so good to see you. It really made my day. You can connect it to a real memory. I ran into an old friend at the train station last month, and it made my day. We only talked for 10 minutes, but it brought back so many memories. Don't try to create a perfect story. Choose a feeling, explain why, and connect it to something real. In this next round, you'll have less time, so let these familiar patterns carry you. This time, don't build a long sentence first. Let the feeling come quickly, then add one simple reason. You receive an email saying you got the job you wanted. What do you say? I'm so relieved. I've been waiting for this news for weeks. Notice the pattern. Feeling first, reason second. It sounds natural because you're not explaining too much. Now your friend has finally passed an important exam. Respond with warmth. That's wonderful news. You must be so happy. Or, I'm really happy for you. You worked hard for this. You're reacting to the person, not simply repeating the news. But what if your friend didn't get the result they hoped for? Try to answer with understanding. I'm sorry to hear that. I know how much effort you put into it. You don't have to solve everything. Sometimes a simple response shows that you understand and care. Now, several hours have passed and someone still hasn't replied. How do you feel? I'm starting to feel a little anxious because I don't know what's going on. That gives a clearer picture than simply saying, I'm nervous. You could also say, I'm a bit worried, but I'm trying not to overthink it. You can adjust the intensity in the same way. I'm a little disappointed. I'm pretty disappointed. Or I'm really disappointed. The feeling stays similar, but its strength changes. Here's another situation. You make a mistake during an online meeting and everyone notices. What might you say afterward? I was embarrassed at first, but I'm glad I was able to correct it. This shows the difficult feeling and how you moved through it. Now begin with the phrase, that caught me off guard. That caught me off guard, and I didn't know how to react for a moment. We use this when something happens suddenly and we need time to process it. Your coworker says, I'm leaving the company next month. Respond with surprise and encouragement. Really? I didn't expect that. I hope the new opportunity is a great one for you. Notice the order. Surprise first, then kindness. Now listen to this. I've been feeling exhausted lately, and I'm not sure why. How could you respond? I'm sorry you've been feeling that way. Maybe you should give yourself some time to rest. That sounds caring without becoming dramatic or giving too much advice. Your sister has just had a baby. Respond naturally. That's amazing. You must be thrilled. It sounds like such a special moment for your family. Now shadow this part. That's amazing. You must be thrilled. Keep your voice warm and let must be thrilled rise slightly. Emotional English isn't about collecting 20 different feeling words. It's about choosing one familiar phrase, giving a reason, and responding to the person in front of you. Now don't translate. Hear the situation, notice your first reaction, and speak with a pattern you already know. Your picnic is canceled because of heavy rain. What do you say? I'm disappointed, but maybe we can do it another day. Your manager unexpectedly praises your work. That really made my day. I wasn't expecting it at all. You see a close friend for the first time in years. It was so good to see you. I didn't realize how much I'd missed you. A teammate helps fix a problem caused by your mistake. I felt awful at first, but I'm really grateful you helped me. These answers work because they connect emotion to real meaning. You're not only naming a feeling, you're showing what happened inside you and allowing the other person to respond. So when a real moment comes, start simply, I'm excited because I was a little disappointed, but that caught me off guard, or I'm really happy for you. Trust the first honest feeling. Add one clear reason, and let your natural reaction come through. Let's keep that honest reaction going, even when the situation changes quickly. Imagine you're meeting a friend at a cafe, but they arrive 30 minutes late. What would you say? You might say, I was a little worried, but I'm glad you're here. Or, I was starting to wonder if something happened. Simple, honest, and natural. Now your friend apologizes and suggests going somewhere else because the cafe is too crowded. Do you agree or disagree? You could say, sure, that sounds good. Let's find somewhere quieter. Or, I'd rather stay here. I've already found a table. Notice the movement. You react, explain, and make a choice. You don't need a perfect sentence to stay in the conversation. You just need to keep your meaning moving. Now let's make it a little more challenging. You planned to watch a movie tonight, but your friend suddenly invites you to dinner with some old classmates. What would you say? Maybe, I'd love to join you, but I already have plans tonight. Or, that sounds fun. Can we do it another evening? If your first answer feels incomplete, don't stop and translate. Repair it while you speak. Try this phrase. Actually, what I mean is, for example, I can't come tonight. Actually, what I mean is, I need to finish something important first, but I might be free later. That small phrase gives your mind time. It also shows the listener that you're adjusting your message, not giving up. This is what natural speakers do all the time. Here's another situation. A colleague asks why you changed your plan at the last minute. Answer in 1 or 2 sentences. You could say, I changed it because the original plan wasn't practical. I realized we needed more time. Now, imagine the colleague didn't understand and asks, do you mean the plan was too expensive? Or that it would take too long? Don't switch languages. Repair the message. I mean it would take too long. We only had one afternoon, so I chose a simpler option. Exactly. A misunderstanding isn't a failure. It's a normal part of real conversation, and clarification is an important speaking skill. Let's try a quick response round. Your friend says, let's order pizza, but you prefer cooking at home. Respond, I'd rather cook tonight. It'll be healthier, and I already have the ingredients. Your manager changes tomorrow's meeting time. You're disappointed, but you can still attend. Say, that's a little inconvenient, but I can make it work. Now someone recommends a book you've already read. You might answer, actually, I've read it. I liked the beginning, but I found the ending a little weak. That sounds honest without sounding too harsh. Now let's use a phrase for when your thought suddenly disappears. You're explaining why you want to move to a new neighborhood and you lose your train of thought. Say, I lost my train of thought. What I mean is, I want a place that feels quieter and more convenient. You're not pretending everything is perfect. You're simply guiding the conversation back to your meaning. Ed, listen and shadow this exchange. Are you still coming tonight? Actually, I'm not sure yet. Let me put it another way. I want to come, but I need to see how much work I have left. Again, smoothly. Are you still coming tonight? Actually, I'm not sure yet. Let me put it another way. I want to come, but I need to see how much work I have left. Now answer without my model. Someone asks, are you still planning to travel this weekend? Begin with actually, if you need a moment. Your answer could be, actually, I'm not completely sure. I was planning to go, but the weather may change my decision. Keep that flexibility. The goal isn't to answer instantly every time. It's to keep your meaning alive while you think. Now we'll combine a situation, an emotion, and a decision in one longer challenge. Imagine you've just arrived in a new city and someone asks, how do you feel about living here? Answer quickly with an emotion and one reason. You might say, I feel excited because everything is new, but I'm also a little overwhelmed. Notice how naturally the answer moves from feeling to explanation. Now imagine you plan to meet a friend, but work suddenly keeps you late. Explain the change in one sentence. Try this. I was going to meet you after work, but I've been asked to stay late, so could we meet tomorrow instead? The plan stays clear, even when the situation changes. Let's make it faster. Coffee or tea? Beach or mountains? Would you rather work from home or in an office? Don't wait for a perfect answer. Say the first natural thing that comes to mind, then add one short reason. I'd choose the mountains because I love quiet places. Or, I'd rather work from home because I can concentrate better. Now someone disagrees and says, really? I prefer busy places. Respond without becoming defensive. You could say, I understand that. I enjoy busy places sometimes, but when I need to relax, I prefer somewhere quiet. That small phrase, I understand that, keeps the conversation open. Let's repair a misunderstanding. You say, I'm going to leave early because I have a meeting with my manager. The other person asks, so you're leaving the company? How would you correct the meaning? Say, oh, no, that's not what I mean. I'm only leaving the office early. I still work for the company. You've clarified the message without switching languages. Here's another one. You say, I need to see my doctor tomorrow. And someone asks, are you sick? Explain that it's only a regular checkup. Not really. I'm just going for a routine checkup. Short, calm, and easy to understand. Sometimes your answer isn't ready. Complete this sentence. I'm not sure how to explain it, but you might continue. I'm not sure how to explain it, but the job looks good on paper, and something still doesn't feel right. This gives you time while showing that you still have more to say. Now listen and shadow this exchange. Why did you change your mind? I lost my train of thought for a moment. What I mean is, I still like the idea, but I need more time to think. Again, follow the rhythm and connect the ideas smoothly. Why did you change your mind? I lost my train of thought for a moment. What I mean is, I still like the idea, but I need more time to think. Now try without a model. Why did you decide not to accept the invitation? Give a reason and correct yourself if your meaning changes while you speak. You might say, I wanted to go, actually, but I realized I'd already made another plan. What I mean is, I didn't reject the invitation. I just couldn't change my schedule. That's real conversation. You begin, adjust your meaning, and keep going instead of freezing. Next, we'll combine an imagined situation, your opinion, your emotion, and one decision in a longer challenge. Let's put everything together in one situation. Don't translate every word. Imagine you've just arrived in a new city after a long flight. You enter a small hotel, tired and carrying a heavy suitcase. The receptionist studies the computer with a worried expression. What do you see? Answer in simple English. You could say, I see a hotel desk, a worried receptionist, and a few people waiting behind me. Clear and direct is enough. Then the receptionist says, I'm sorry, but I can't find your reservation. What happened? My reservation is missing from the system. I booked a room, but the hotel can't find the record. Say that slowly, then repeat it with a natural rhythm. Now answer quickly. What do you need? I need a room for tonight. And I need the receptionist to check my booking again. Notice how we build the response in small pieces, not one perfect sentence. But you have a confirmation email on your phone. What would you say? Try before I help you. I have a confirmation email here. Could you please check the reservation under my name one more time? Calm, clear, and useful. Repeat it once. Now add your feelings. Why is this difficult? Maybe you'd say, I'm frustrated because I've just arrived and I don't know where else to go. Still, I'm trying to stay calm. The word still connects frustration with your decision to remain calm. Now the receptionist checks again and says, the room is available, but your card payment didn't go through. What could you do? Start with, I could try another card, contact my bank, or ask if I can pay in cash. Choose one option and give a reason. I'll try another card first because I don't want to call the bank after such a long journey. Keep the whole idea in mind instead of translating word by word. A stranger in the lobby notices and says, There's an ATM around the corner, if you need one. How would you respond without sounding too formal? That's really helpful. Thank you. I'll try my other card first, but I may use the ATM if it doesn't work. Good. You acknowledged the help and explained your plan. One more twist. Your second card works, but only a smaller room is available. Would you accept it? I'd accept it if the room is clean and the price stays the same. I'm tired, so having somewhere to sleep matters more than having a large room tonight. You've now observed the scene, identified the problem, explained your needs, chosen an action, and adapted when the situation changed. Shadow this natural version. I've just arrived, and my reservation seems to be missing. Could you check it again? I have the confirmation email here. If the payment doesn't work, I'll try another card. I'd accept a smaller room if the price stays the same. Now I'm removing the support. The receptionist asks, "What would you like to do?" Answer in your own words with one next action and one reason. Then we'll use the same thinking process with a situation from your own life. Take a moment and answer in your own words. I'd like to stay here tonight, so could you check whether another room is available? If not, I'll try another hotel nearby. That's clear, calm, and practical. Notice what happened there. You didn't search for a perfect sentence. You focused on your need, your next action, and one possible alternative. Now let's remove even more support. Imagine you've arrived in a new city, but your phone battery is almost dead. Your luggage is heavy, and you can't find the address of your apartment. What do you see? You might say, I see a crowded street, a few taxis, and a small cafe. My phone is almost out of battery, and I'm carrying 2 heavy bags. Good. What's the immediate problem? I can't find my address, and I may not have enough battery to use my phone. Keep it simple. You're not writing a report. You're thinking out loud. Now, what do you need? I need somewhere to charge my phone and a quiet place to check the address. That sentence gives your mind direction. What would you do first? Ask the cafe staff for help, take a taxi, or walk around and look for the building. If you choose the cafe, explain why. You could say, I'd ask the cafe staff if I could charge my phone because I don't want to get lost with all my luggage. That answer includes a decision and a reason. Now imagine the cafe is full, but a woman near the door notices your bags and asks, "Are you looking for somewhere?" Respond naturally. You might say, "Yes, I'm trying to find my apartment, but my phone is about to die. Do you know where I could charge it or get a taxi?" What if she says, "I can show you the street, but I'm not sure about the exact building"? Don't reject the help just because it isn't perfect. You could answer, "That would still be really helpful. I can check the building number once my phone has some battery." That little word, still, is useful. It helps you accept partial help without pretending the whole problem is solved. Now change the outcome. She points you toward the street, but you realize the address is in a different neighborhood. What would you say? Oh, I think I've got the wrong address. Let me check the message again. If this is too far away, I'll take a taxi. Feel how your English adjusts as the situation changes. You're not repeating one memorized speech. You're noticing, thinking, choosing, and responding. One final challenge. Tell the whole story in your own way, using this order: what you saw, what went wrong, what you needed, what you decided, and what you would do if the plan failed. Your answer could sound like this: I arrived in a new city with heavy luggage, but my phone was almost dead and I couldn't find my apartment. I needed to charge my phone and check the address, so I asked someone nearby for help. She showed me the street, but the address was wrong, so I decided to take a taxi. If the taxi was too expensive, I'd find a cafe and contact my host. Don't worry if your version sounds different. Different words are completely fine when the meaning is clear. Now let's take this thinking process out of the imaginary city and bring it into your own life. Think of a real moment when something didn't go as planned, and describe what you saw first. Start with that first moment. Where were you? And what did you notice? Give yourself a few seconds, then speak in simple English. You don't need perfect words. You only need to keep the story moving. Begin with, I was, or I had just. For example, I was leaving work when I noticed that my wallet was missing. Now make it your story. Maybe you were late for work, preparing for an important meeting, or at home when unexpected news arrived. Choose one real moment and describe the scene. If you forget a word, don't stop. Describe it instead. It's the thing I used to. Or, I don't know the exact word, but it was a kind of. That's real communication. And if you need help, ask in English, how do I say this? Or, what's the word for? Asking for help isn't failure. Amma. It's one way conversations continue. Here's my example. Last month, I was getting ready to leave for an appointment when I realized I couldn't find my keys. I checked the table, my bag, and even the kitchen counter, although I knew I hadn't left them there. Notice how directly the story begins. I'm not translating every detail first. I'm looking at the situation and explaining what happened. Now continue my story in your mind. What went wrong? You could say, the difficult part was that I was already late. Or, the difficult part was not knowing where to look next. Your turn. Finish this sentence with a real problem. The difficult part was. Good. Now tell me what you needed. Maybe you needed more time, information, help, money, rest, or a clear answer. Start with, I needed to. In my story, I needed to find my keys quickly, so I decided to retrace my steps. I checked the front door, looked under a chair, and finally found them inside a jacket pocket. It sounds ordinary, but ordinary experiences are excellent speaking practice. They belong to you, so the ideas are already there. Your job is to give those ideas simple English. Now shadow this sentence. I needed to find my keys quickly, so I decided to retrace my steps. Say it again, keeping the words connected. Now change it. I needed to solve the problem quickly, so I decided to. Complete it with your own decision. Maybe you called someone, took a different route, postponed a meeting, or tried again. Don't search for a perfect sentence. Make a clear one. Looking back, what do you think now? Use, looking back, I should have. Or looking back, I'm glad that. For me, looking back, I'm glad I didn't panic. I almost called someone for help, but I decided to check my bag one more time. Now finish this naturally. Looking back, I. Speak about what you learned, what surprised you, or what you would change. Then add the future. Next time, I would. Perhaps you'd leave earlier, make a backup plan, or keep something in a safer place. Next time, I would put my keys in the same place every day. It's a simple decision, but simple decisions can prevent a lot of stress. Before the final challenge, check your speaking. Did you answer directly or translate every sentence first? Did you keep going when one word was missing? Did your sentences become easier once you started? You don't need to speak perfectly to think in English. You need to respond, adjust, and continue. Now you're ready to combine these skills with natural speed listening and much less support. Good. Let's use that readiness now. I'll give you a real situation, and you'll respond without translating first. Don't wait for a perfect sentence. Understand the meaning, then speak. You arrive at a cafe, but the person you're meeting hasn't arrived. Your phone is almost out of battery, and you're not sure whether to wait or leave. What would you say to yourself? Keep going for 3 or 4 sentences. You might say, I've been waiting for 20 minutes. My phone is about to die, so I need to decide. I'll wait 5 more minutes, and then I'll leave a message. Now make it your own. Maybe you'd ask the staff for a charger or contact a mutual friend. Speak directly, even if it isn't perfect. Here's another situation. You plan to finish an important task today, but an unexpected problem took most of your time. What happened, and what will you do next? Start with, I was planning to. But then add, the difficult part was. And finish with, next time, I would. Give yourself a few seconds, but don't build the whole answer in your first language. My example is, I was planning to finish a report, but my computer suddenly stopped working. The difficult part was staying calm because I had a deadline. Next time, I would save a backup copy before I start. Now, shadow this sentence. The difficult part was staying calm because I had a deadline. Listen for the rhythm and say it again. Then change it to fit your life. The difficult part might have been making a choice, waiting for news, explaining something, or admitting you needed help. And if a word disappears, don't stop completely. Describe it. Say, the thing I use for, or the place where. You can also say, I don't know the exact word, but. That's real communication, not failure. People keep conversations moving by explaining around missing words all the time. Let's try one final personal answer. Tell me about a place you'd like to visit. Explain why you want to go, what you do there, and what might be difficult. Begin with, I'd really like to visit. Then add, the main reason is, and if I went there, I would. My example is, I'd really like to visit a quiet coastal town in Portugal. The main reason is that I want a slower trip, not one packed with plans. If I went there, I'd walk near the water, try local food, and talk to people who live there. Now make your version. Let the English come from your own experience. Notice what you've done. You moved from controlled practice to personal communication. You answered more directly, used simple structures, and continued when you needed another way to express an idea. That's how fluency becomes more comfortable. Now for the final challenge. A friend asks why you've changed one habit recently. Explain what you changed, why you changed it, and how you feel about it now. Answer without translating and keep speaking for about 30 seconds. When you finish, ask yourself, did I answer quickly? Did I use fewer translated structures? When I forgot a word, did I recover and continue? If the answer is yes, even partly, you've made real progress today. If you enjoyed practicing with me, subscribe to Talk Grow English and come back for the next lesson. Keep listening, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep using your English. I'm Amma, and I'll see you in the next practice.